You ever look at your clothes and wonder not just who made them, but how? And I don't just mean the sewing. I mean the hidden language of lines, curves, and angles that turns a flat piece of fabric into actual fashion. Today, we're going to decode that blueprint.
I mean, look at this skirt. It wraps, it flows, it has all this amazing shape and structure. It's kind of wild to think this whole thing started life as just a simple two-dimensional piece of cloth. How does that transformation even happen?
Well, the secret isn't just about being good with a needle and thread. It's something way more fundamental, something that's actually closer to architecture. The secret? It's geometry.
And this, right here, is what that geometry looks like. See, before a single stitch is even made, a blueprint like this one gets drawn up. Think of it like a technical map that translates all the curves of a human body into a language that a flat piece of fabric can actually understand.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle that basic 2D to 3D puzzle. Then we're going to crack the code of the simple skirt. From there, we'll see how you can go from a straight skirt to a full circle. Then we'll get into the logic of trousers, and finally, we'll see how it all comes together in the grand blueprint of fashion.
So let's start with the most fundamental challenge every single designer faces. How in the world do you make a flat object, like fabric, wrap around a curved object, like a person?
You've got this conflict, right? On one side, you have your fabric. It's flat, it's rectangular, its shape is pretty much set. And on the other side, you have the human body, which is nothing but curves and complex contours. And to top it all off, it needs to move, bend, walk, sit. These two things are just fundamentally at odds with each other.
So, the first, and maybe the most elegant solution to this whole puzzle, it lies in the basic skirt. You can think of it as the prototype, like the original piece of code that countless variations are written from. And it has a secret weapon.
It all starts with data. The process kicks off by basically mapping the landscape of the body. You need 3 critical measurements: the waist, the hips, and the distance between them. And of course, the length you want the skirt to be.
And this is the secret weapon, the dart. It's such a simple idea, but it is incredibly powerful. A dart is literally just a V-shaped wedge that gets folded and sewn into the fabric. Its only job is to pinch out a little bit of that flat, extra material to create a 3-dimensional curve.
Okay, now this is where it all clicks. On the left, you see the dart is just a simple triangle drawn on the flat pattern, but on the right, you see what it actually does to the body. By pinching that little triangle closed, the flat fabric is forced to curve, perfectly shaping the garment from the wider hip up to the narrower waist. It really is like origami, but for fabric.
Hey, fitting the body is just step one, right? Fashion is also about creating totally new shapes. So let's look at how you can take this one basic building block, that simple skirt pattern, and just explode it into an incredible variety of new forms.
The main technique here is called slash and spread, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You take your basic pattern, you make a few strategic vertical cuts, those are your slashes, and then you pivot those pieces apart, spreading them open to add way more volume at the bottom.
And boom, here's what happens. You start with the basic straight pattern on the left, but after you slash and spread it like you see on the right, that bottom edge is now so much wider. This is literally how a simple straight skirt becomes a classic A-line. And the more you spread those pieces, the more flare you're gonna get. Now, what if you take that slash and spread idea to its absolute logical extreme? Well, you get this. I know, it looks like a donut, right? But believe it or not, this flat pattern, when it's sewn together, creates a perfect full circle skirt. That tiny inner circle becomes the waistband, and the giant outer circle becomes that beautiful flowing hem. It's just a masterful piece of geometry. Okay, so if a skirt is the solution for covering the lower body, what about trousers? Are they some totally different invention? Not at all. It turns out they're a direct evolution of the skirt blueprint, just with a crucial upgrade for a new function: walking. Honestly, the easiest way to picture it is this. Trousers are basically just a skirt that's been split down the middle and then sewn up to wrap around each leg on its own. But to make that whole division actually work, you need one crucial piece of new geometry: the crotch curve. That's the key addition. It's what allows the garment to fit properly between the legs and, most importantly, it gives you the freedom of movement for walking, sitting, running, everything. And yep, you guessed it, just like the skirt, all trousers start with a foundational pattern, what's often called a block. This one blueprint holds the essential DNA, the waist, the hips, the leg shape, and that all-important crotch curve for literally every style of pant you can think of, from skinny jeans to massive flared bell-bottoms.
So now we have our 2 foundational blueprints. the skirt and the trouser. And this, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Because once you understand these basic geometric rules, the playbook is wide open. You can create a nearly infinite universe of designs.
Let's go back to skirts for a second. Just by doing something as simple as dividing the basic pattern into more vertical panels, say 4 or 6 or 8, you suddenly create a whole new family of styles, and each one has a slightly different fit and flow. Or, hey, what if you just add stuff to it? By injecting a ton of extra fabric and then folding it into pleats, or by gathering it all up at the waistband, you can create entirely new textures, completely different silhouettes, and all new ways for the garment to move with you. And of course, the exact same logic applies to trousers. By changing the width of the leg, raising or lowering the waist, adding pleats, that one single block can be morphed into absolutely everything from your favorite casual jeans to formal dress slacks to some wild avant-garde design.
So here's the big takeaway. The clothes we wear, they're not just fabric, they're not just fashion. They are, in a very real sense, wearable architecture. Every single garment is a carefully engineered structure that was designed to solve a very specific geometric problem.
So the next time you get dressed, take a closer look. Really look at the seams, the folds, the shapes. You're not just looking at a skirt or a pair of pants. You're looking at a solution. So, now that you can read the blueprint, what story will your clothes tell you?